Welcome back. The words formal and family don't often get used in the same sentence. Chances are, if you have young children, they're told to steer clear of your home's formal areas.
But we met a young family who has transformed their museum-like historic home into a place of warmth and comfort, where the no trespassing signs have been taken down permanently. Joe Zanger of Our Place got a chance to visit with them.
Yes, I did. 3 preschool boys and their very busy parents call this house home. And despite all the odds, they're rewriting the rules with some very happy results. A grand house, belonging to a grand time. Marrcrest sits on this imposing site, as it has since the day it was completed in 1926.
Walter Marr, who built this house, called it Marrcrest, and a very appropriate name. It stands on the crest of one of the most prominent hilltops here. But he was also one of the very first and most important people in creating the automotive engine as we know it. And he had created a car that was called the Marr car. There's only one of them known to exist today, and the family next door still have it. And we all have a good time saying, you know, that's the car that paid for this house.
Built in the Italian Renaissance style, Marrcrest had all the markings of a bygone era, but few of the makings of a family home. It had been vacant for 3 years, partly because the rooms were formal, massive, and cold.
The house was somewhat like a lady with great bone structure who'd never really been told she was pretty.
What I saw when I walked through the door was just a cold, plain house that scared me to death.
Charlotte White and her husband Robert loved the home's storied past and grand presence. But with 3 active preschoolers, they also needed a family-friendly home. And this 20 by 30 drawing room offered the greatest challenge, since it would have to work as a formal living room, a den, and an all-purpose hangout.
I was told that this room got to work for football or for the most formal occasion, both.
I wanted it to be nice, but not like living in a museum. I wanted anyone who walked through my door to feel like they could sit on any piece of furniture, anywhere in any room, no matter what it was. I didn't want anyone to feel uncomfortable in my home.
The first mission was to make the room comfortable, and here's what we can all learn from their situation. A beautiful, original, custom-made Chinese rug set the tone. Drawing from its palette, the decorator began to warm things up with a soft kaleidoscope of color, even painting the room's elaborate ceiling in several tone-on-tone shades.
There is not a single thing in this house that is a solid color, not a rug, not a piece of fabric. There are over 40 different textile patterns in this room, and if I recall, 17 or 18 paint colors.
Colors were chosen for their warmth, but with 3 active little boys on board, fabrics were judged by 2 criteria: how well they'd hold up and how well they'd hide dirt. The room's furnishings also had to be prepared to take a beating.
Most of the vintage furniture is just made of hardwood, superior to most of that which can be bought today. This is a sofa around about 1920, perhaps as early as 1910, Italian-made. The spring, there are 3 series of inner springs tied over the other, and if you've seen the children bouncing around in here, it would take that to survive.
Bounced on, jumped on, balls thrown everywhere, in every room, and I love that. I love that we can be that way and that we've made the boys feel like that's okay.
Painted and with the large furniture pieces in place, now it was time to tackle the thorniest of issues: where to put the TV. Knowing that most entertainment centers wouldn't work from a design standpoint, Will crafted his own. He took 2 elaborately carved matching buffets, cut the legs off, and married them. Setting them on a raised platform, he created a large piece that beautifully fills one wall.
I just never thought we would be able to make a TV work in this room.
Closed for formal entertaining, you'd never know there was a TV inside. Open, and the piece becomes a working entertainment center.
And Will just came up with an amazing idea to do that, and we love it.
Today, the room offers design clues we can all use. It's formal but indestructible, comfortable but elegant, and above all, flexible.
We, a few years ago, had a roaring 20s party with 350 people, and that was great. It worked really well. But then we've also had small couples baby showers, we've had church functions, we've had every party of every size that you can imagine. I think we've done that here.
The Whites couldn't be happier with the results, and this home, once cold and imposing, rings with the laughter of a young family on the move.
And now it just definitely is that. Definitely a happy, happy house.
Well, so much for children being seen and not heard, huh?
It's a different generation, and parents just don't think that way anymore.
Thanks so much, Joe.
Thank you.
That was interesting.
That's great.
You know, the flexible formality we just saw can work both ways.
And we're going to take cabinets that were quite informal and dress them up for a more formal look next.